Friends, put your hands together to welcome on stage Quizmaster Big Brain.
Hello and a warm welcome to each and every one of you. You're with me, Big Brain, here today on the third semi-final of Know It All, the World Teachers Quiz 2020. Well, from students to corporates, well, we've tried it all, and boy oh boy have the teachers surprised us. We are in the top 16 of the world, and trust me, it's been one of the most humbling experiences. From across the length and breadth of the world, we've got people qualifying. We've got a contestant here today all the way from the Sultanate of Oman, and we've got some in from the United States of America. But truly humbling is the fact that we see this kind of passion and that ever willingness to learn and celebrate knowledge. That really is perhaps what underlines a teacher. And we at the TeacherTribe.world and TCS Ion really appreciate that spirit of a teacher as we celebrate it through this quiz. The entire event, of course, is the dream of one teacher. A great teacher, a passionate one at that. She spent almost 3 decades as a teacher and then led a great institution, is Mrs. Rama Ranganathan, the lady who always believed that teachers should compete in similar events like students, and thus conceptualized an inter-school teachers quiz. A small thought, but a great vision of a teacher has today become a global platform. And we are truly delighted to present to you the third semi-final with 2 gentlemen going into the world finals. From the first and second semi-final is Vijay Krishna Rajagopal, the young principal from Vidyaniketan School, Bangalore. With him, Dhanush Reddy from Teja Vidyalaya, Kodad, both of them from the southern part of India qualifying. Rashmi, of course, has been taking these people through a grueling set of quarterfinals that you witnessed. We'll see who she's lined up for the third semi-final here today and then pick action with these 4 contestants, of whom 1 will make it to the world final of this quiz. For now, my fellow host here, a young lady, a young talent, the only one as a lady in the quizzing space, who in many ways was one of those who pushed us to get into this digital version of quizzing, because one of the beliefs we had at Grey Caps Knowledge Tribe was the situation that all of us were facing with the lockdowns and so on should not mean that there is a lockdown for quizzing with students. That would be so unfair. So we said we'll experiment with the digital world. When we experiment, we'll get the teachers to play it, so then they know how to tell their students how to take part. So here's a passionate teacher with us who's been so keen to have the digital frontier to keep children who may be in their homes but still need to keep their grey cells ticking. A teacher who's an alumnus of NITK Surathkal. She in fact went on to become a lecturer there and then decided perhaps she had enough of those engineering students. And she said, I'll create content and do quiz shows instead. And she moved on to the other side, and for the last decade, she's really grown all over Asia as a quiz host. Here today with us, logging in from very close to her alumnus, which is Surathkal, from a small and beautiful town called Mulki. Sometimes when you cross these small little places, you're reminded of the good old Malgudi. And that's what these lovely small towns remind us of. And she's from one of those picturesque towns, is Rashmi Furtado. She'll tell us who our semi-finalists are, and then we'll get underway to identify our next big finalist. For now, welcome to you, Rashmi Furtado.
Thank you, Big Brain. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first edition of the World Teachers Quiz Know It All by TeacherTribe.world. TeacherTribe.world, we have just one simple objective, and that is to celebrate the teacher. What better way to celebrate a teacher than have such interesting, engaging activities for them? And that is how the Know It All quiz came about. Today, we have these 4 semi-finalists for our third semi-final, and they've gone through some continuous stressful rounds of quizzing to reach this stage. And from them, 1 will move on to the national final. Let me quickly introduce them to you. First up, we have Miss Daitya Datta from Assam Valley School. There she is. Following her, we have Miss Dipta Vivekanand from Sant Kabir School, Chandigarh. Following her, we have Dilip Chaudhary from KPS Raipur. And completing our lineup, we have Miss Bijay Sebastian from Indian School, Muscat. Those are our semi-finalists for now. Big Brain will take this quiz forward. Over to you, Big Brain.
Thank you, Rashmi. Thank you so much. Truly interesting to see 4 finalists from literally across, well, Middle East and India, from the beautiful Assam to the lovely Chandigarh. It's a city I used to love visiting every time I used to travel for my quizzes. And it's one of those better cities when you see the roads and so on. So I love that. Of course, I'm known for creating traffic jams in an otherwise sane and calm Muscat. Well, our quizzes there get about 7,500 people into an amphitheater, and that is quite a nightmare sometimes for the Oman police. And Raipur is another of those lovely young cities with remarkable talent, represented, of course, by a good quizzer from there, Dilip Chaudhary. Well, we've got an interesting lineup: Daitya, Deepta, Dilip, and Bijimol. All 4 of them from different parts, all logging in from their respective locations to make a global quiz like this possible on the click of a mouse. For now, we're going to go through this semi-final with 20 questions common to all of you. We have a very interesting format for you to allow you the right to exercise your own level of confidence with the value of your answer. Here it comes on your screen. The normal value of your answer for the 20 questions, which is common to the 4 of you across 5 rounds, is 50 points. However, when you press the buzzer, if you think you know it all, you are allowed to tell me, I would like to double my score, which means you can play it at 100. The caveat, if you get it wrong at 50, you get a minus 50. If you choose to play at 100 and get it wrong, you get a minus 100. Well, what we do with our children comes back to us at some point in time. The pressure is what we put on our kids sometimes. We experience it as teachers. So you got to take your decisions on whether you want to play 100 or not. Please note, you will declare if you want to play at 100 before you start answering the question. The moment you've started answering question, if you do not tell me it's at 100, it means you're playing at the normal default value, which would be 50. This scoring option is available to you across the 20 questions. So I'll start with the first round. I'll bring in Rashmi for our next couple of rounds, and then I'll do the last couple. So we're trying to bring in a complete integration through technology from different locations. But for the moment, a wonderful welcome to all the 4 of you from across the length and breadth of literally Asia, with one of our contestants logging in from the Sultanate of Oman. We're going to pick action on the first frontier of our battle here today, the 3rd semi-final of Know It All, the World Teachers Quiz 2020, as we pick action on what we call Around the World. Here it comes. All right. All hands on the buzzer. We're starting with the first one. On your screen, here it comes. This school annually trains people for something. They're required to be extremely athletic, they're required to be extremely agile, and they're required to be extremely fast. They are trained by none less than a hockey player who plays for the country. So you've got a teacher who's himself a country representative. The boys and girls of this school are extremely famous for what they do every year. Daitya has gone on the buzzer. Will she play 100 or a 50? Your mic, ma'am. Ma'am, mic. 1 second. Get your mic on. Yeah. Yes, do you want to play?
Yeah, I would like to play this for 100.
And what's your answer, ma'am?
They are trained as ball boys and ball girls for Wimbledon.
The first 100 going to our teacher from Assam here today as we move on to the next question on your screens. Now, where in the world would you find this ATM machine? Specially constructed from the Sultanate of Oman. Ms. Sebastian is on the buzzer from the Indian school. What's your strategy?
I would like to double it.
You want to double it. She's playing at 100 as well. Yes, ma'am.
Antarctica.
Oh, that's a brilliant answer. The only ATM machine that you would find in the Antarctic. Absolutely well played. She's, of course, a very famous scientist who was on a trip to the Antarctic. I'm normally, curiosity gets the better of me. I've often been wondering, and this question remains unanswered in my mind, why do you need an ATM in Antarctic? Where are you going to spend money? I have not found the answer to that. It remains a puzzle in my mind, but nonetheless, we go to the next question. On the buzzer, identify this administrative region of the world. I worded my question carefully. Dilip has gone for it. What's the strategy that you're going to play, Dilip? We'd like you to switch on your mic. And your strategy?
Double.
Double, all right. Even if you say double twice, you get only 100. Go on.
It's Hong Kong.
Hong Kong. Oh, well played. They've got a separate flag of their own. It's an administrative region. It's created a lot of issues and grabbed the headlines in the world before, of course, one virus swept all these headlines away. But Hong Kong remains a contentious issue in this world as of now. As we go to the next one on your screens, coming up now. 3 interesting locations. How do we know them together? Doitya has gone for it on the buzzer. What do you want to play? 100 or 50?
I'll play 50.
You want to play at 50, okay? Yes?
Yeah, okay. The Bermuda Triangle.
And if you were so sure, why would you only play 50? Well, the 3 flags actually indicate the 3 points of the Bermuda Triangle. 50 to our teacher from Assam, and she gets to 150. Very, very early days in our final here today, but on 150, we have Doitya Datta from the Assam Valley School leading early days. Right behind her are 2 of them on 100. From the Sultanate of Oman is Bijimol Sebastian, and along with her we've got Dilip Chowdhury from KPS Raipur also on 100. Deepta ma'am from the quarterfinal to the semi-final has been a slow starter, but when she starts, she certainly gets going, and I'm sure she will get onto the buzzer. But for the moment, we're going to move on to the second frontier of our battle here today, where we will take you on a journey down memory lane on what we call Vintage World. Here it comes. On the second frontier, we are going to go back in time and see how well you can deal with history in a certain form. It's not necessarily history as in real history. It could even be the past, which today's youngsters would call yesterday as history. But that's, of course, how you see history. But for the moment, we term it with the word vintage. And in contrast to the era of the questions, we have perhaps one of the youngest quiz hosts in the quizzing circuit, Rashmi Furtado, to take you through the next couple of rounds. Over to you, Rashmi.
Thank you, Big Brain. As the name of the round suggests, Vintage World, it's all about the past. It could be structures, it could be monuments, it could be something from the field of literature or entertainment. It can be anything. What I have for you are 4 visuals. Along with the visuals, I would have corresponding questions. Although it is up to you if you want to wait for me to complete the question or not. The buzzer rules remain the same. The scoring pattern also remains the same. 4 questions in this round. First question on your screen now. What is this the plan for? It is a plan for something iconic in our world. No one going on the buzzer. I thought this was an easy one. Biji ma'am going on the buzzer there. Ma'am, you can unmute yourself and speak. And tell me if you want to take a double or stick to a basic value.
Basic value. I'll go for basic value. This is Sydney Opera House.
Sydney Opera House. And why didn't you take a double on that? Plus 50 to you. You're absolutely right. I thought the colored portion there was a good clue and I expected someone to crack it easily. She's absolutely absolutely right. Sydney Opera House plus 50. Moving on, question number 2. Here it is. Identify this sitcom. Alright, no clues required. Miss Dipta on the buzzer. Ma'am, you can unmute yourself and speak. And base value or bonus? What are you going for?
I'll do a bonus. I'll play for 100.
Bonus for 100. Alright, go on, ma'am.
Yes, Minister. Yes, Prime Minister. Nigel Hawthorne. Whatever's the question.
Well, I still give it to you. 100 is what you played and 100 is what you get. Yes, Prime Minister was a sequel to this. Yes, Minister, the answer I was looking for. Since she gave me the entire history, I'm going to give that to her plus 100. Alright, moving on to the next question of this round. On your screen now. How do we know this army? Alright, most of them going on the buzzer there. Miss Dipta, the first one to go on the buzzer. Yes, ma'am. Bonus or base value?
Bonus.
Bonus, okay.
The Terracotta Army.
The Terracotta Army plus 100. You're absolutely right. I think Mr. Dilip was slightly late to press the buzzer. I can see he was second in the sequence. But Miss Dipta gets it absolutely right. The Terracotta Army. Alright, plus 100 to her. We move on to the last question of this round. On your screen now. Alright. Daitya ma'am on the buzzer. Go on, ma'am. You can unmute yourself and speak.
Go for 100.
You go for 100, alright?
Yeah. That's Nadia Comaneci.
Nadia Comaneci. And what did she do that was so iconic in this world?
She got 7 perfect 10s in the Olympics.
Yes, she got 7 perfect 10s and she got it for the first time when she was only 14. Yes, she's absolutely right. Plus 100, ma'am. Nadia Comaneci, the answer I was looking for, and she gets it absolutely right. A plus 100 on that. Before we move on to the next round, let me quickly tell you where all of our contestants stand. On 250 is Daita ma'am and she's currently leading the quiz. Close to her, right there, is Miss Dipta on a 200. We have Bichi ma'am on 150 and Mr. Dilip on 100. As of now, I wouldn't make any statements on who is going to qualify because there are many more rounds to go. Lot of quizzing remaining. So let's move on to the third round of this quiz. Here we go. World of people. Third round here. This, of course, like it says, is all about people. It can be people, their achievements. It can be something from the fictional world. It can be anything. So keep that in mind. Again, I have visuals for you on the screen and corresponding questions. The scoring pattern remains the same. 4 questions. The first one on your screen now. Who owns this train? Daitya ma'am, not waiting for me to complete the question. Ma'am, you can unmute yourself and speak. Base or a double?
Normal.
Normal for a plus 50. Go on, ma'am.
I think I'll get minus 50 because I didn't, I waited. I was too quick.
No problem, ma'am. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I'll get.
All right. No problem. She gets a minus 50 on that. She went a little too quick on the buzzer. Probably not allowing herself to internalize the question first. All right. For no points, does any one of you want to take a chance? No points at all. You can just take a guess. Not trying, anybody?
Can you ask the question? Can you complete the question?
The question was, who owns this train? This entire train is owned by a single person who has technically started traveling just a couple of years ago.
Is that Greta Thunberg?
Not Greta Thunberg. Alright, the answer I was looking for was Kim Jong-un from North Korea. Yes, so this is his train and he travels on this train. Supposedly a safer means to travel for him. Moving on to the next question of this round on your screen now. This family is famous for being whose tailor? There's one specific person that they are a tailor for, official tailors for. Gammarelli, it says. At any point in time, they have this one customer for sure. Mr. Dilip going on the buzzer there. Yes, sir, you can unmute yourself and speak. Base or a double?
Yeah, it's normal. I'll take a risk.
Okay, he doesn't want to take a risk. 50, he says. Go on, sir.
Did the Pope?
The Pope. I wish you had taken 100 plus 50. You're absolutely right. The Pope, the answer I was looking for, and he gets a plus 50 on that. All right, moving on to the next question on your screen now. Identify the person. Tricky question, and nobody's allowing me to finish the question. Mr. Dilip on the buzzer there. Go on, sir.
This is Charlie Chaplin with Mahatma Gandhi.
Charlie Chaplin with Mahatma Gandhi plus 50 because you did not say it was a double. I wish you had taken a double on that. You're very confident, but he gets a plus 50 on that. Charlie Chaplin, the answer I was looking for. Moving on, the last question of this round on your screen now. Which British royalty is a very good painter and his work earns money for his charity? Tahita ma'am going on the buzzer. Yes, ma'am. Base or a double? Ma'am, you need to unmute yourself.
Normal. Prince Charles.
Normal and Prince Charles, you said. Plus 50. I wish you had taken a double on that. Plus 50. She's absolutely right. He is a well-known painter and all his paintings fetch him the income for his charities. Alright. The next two rounds of the quiz will be taken forward by Pig Brain at the other side of this break. Over to you, Pig Brain.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're with me here today on Know It All, the third semi-final of the World Teachers Quiz 2020. Thank you so much to young Rashmi Furtado for that lovely set of questions in round 2 and 3. Well, vintage seems to be pretty easy for our set of semi-finalists here. They've all scored. It's a very, very interesting scorecard here. We got Bijimol from the Sultanate of Oman on 150. Right ahead of her on 200 are Dilip and Deepta from Chandigarh and Raipur, both on 200. Still ahead, but a slender margin of a lead on 250 is Daitya from Assam. I genuinely thought she would have played 100 on Prince Charles, especially when I thought Rashmi was a little lenient in using the word royalty. If I had framed that question, I would have omitted that one word, royalty. But nonetheless, she's a teacher and she can be a little partial towards teachers, but we'll let that be. For the moment, we're moving on to the next frontier of our game, which I think could be crucial for the outcome of this quiz. It's time for something that we all used to play when we were in school and college. Unfortunately, it's not played as often. Hopefully, we'll bring it back into the schools very soon. It's called What's the Good Word? Here it comes. Well, we made the L in the world silent, and we shall focus on what's the word in the world that we are looking for. The way we're going to play this game is we're going to give you a sort of a sentence, and along with that, we'll give you a few boxes, which means if the answer was the word world, you will find 5 boxes on your screen. So it's indicative of the number of letters in the answer. So that's all that you get as a clue, so you can sort of validate what's on your mind before you choose to press the buzzer. 150 are the scores, as always, so you will take your decision on the score that you would like to play. Your overall answer is just one word. If you're ready, hands on the buzzer, eyes on the screen. Question coming up now. Nihon and Wokaku are my old names. Who am I in this world? Daitya on the buzzer. Will she play 100? Will she play a 50? On your mic, ma'am. Mic. Daitya, ma'am, your mic is...
100.
You want to play 100? Yes?
Yeah. Japan.
Is correct. Absolutely perfect. She'll get 100 on Japan. The old names of Japan before the world knew it as Japan. As we go to the next one, on your screens now. 1 followed by 100 zeros. Deepta from Chandigarh is hitting. Will she play 100? Yes, Deepta.
Yes, I will play for 100.
You will play for 100. Go on.
And it's Google.
Google, the word which gave the word Google. Absolutely perfect. Oh, well played. Every time someone moves ahead, Deepta manages to get that 100. She's got to get 1 or 2 to get ahead of the rest. But she's playing this game like a marathon. She's playing in that huddle, which is a good thing to do. But at some stage, someone will have to break free. Here's the next one on your screens now. It's a fabric that was used for mass production of trousers. First produced in Genoa, Italy, hence the name. Dilip, first up on the buzzer. Yes, Dilip.
Denim.
Denim, D-E-N-I-M, will give you a -50. Well, he took a risk on that. Denim also gets its name from a place, but this is
Jeans.
jeans. Genoa is genus. The other word for Genoa is genus, and genus gave the word jeans. Well, he quickly corrected himself, but unfortunately, he knew he's wrong and he's smiling at himself. That's the good spirit. One thing that's been wonderful about this quiz is, wrong or right, all the contestants have been smiling, and I like such quizzes. At the end of the day, you've got to appreciate knowledge. It's not about winning or losing. I fail miserably to try and teach school children that, but that's all right. Here's the next one, the final one in this round. Off in a flash, I think will be our contestants. Here it comes. Latin word for salt. Deepta in a flash. Is she going to play 100? And that'll take her into the lead if she gets it right. Yes, Deepta. Is it 100 or a 50?
Coming to me now. I'll play for a 50.
50. Latin word for salt. Something so common in the modern world.
I know it's sal.
Something more than sal. Oh my God. She's playing at a 50 because she's not told 100 and she started answering.
Saliva.
Oh, -50. She just had to find a word with sal at the end of it. What she missed out was salary. Salary is the answer that I was looking for, which is why we say worth your salt, which is how the word salary came into existence. One round to go, and this quiz, trust me, is far from over. Daitya is on 350. She's holding on to that lead. Deepta, fortunately, did not play at 100, so she's down only to 250. Dilip is on 150. Bijimol is on 150. They need 2 answers to catch up with Daitya, ma'am. It's possible. We saw it in the first semi-final, where we had a principal from Bangalore at -150, and then he did a MS Dhoni in a quiz competition. Well, just came back blazing all guns to stump all the others in that first semi-final. The third one seems more like a cooperative union of teachers. Everyone seems nice to each other, but somewhere someone's got to win this contest. As we move to the final frontier of the World Teachers Quiz in the third semi-final, the final frontier, World of Education. Here it comes. 4 final questions that will determine who goes into the world final of this quiz. Starting with the first one. A teacher of mathematics, French, drama and humanities. Here it comes on your screen. From the West Point Grey Academy, Dilip has gone for it. Identify this teacher. Yes, Dilip.
Justin Trudeau.
Sorry?
Justin Trudeau.
Justin Trudeau was a school teacher to the Prime Minister, and perhaps one of the better ones in the world that we have today. But yet again, Dilip choosing not to play at 100. Oh, well, 50 to him. Well, his son happens to be an outstanding quizzer. I think you need to speak to him in the evening on how to use the buzzer, Dilip, and your tactics.
sure.
Well,
Yeah,
sometimes
sure.
our kids can teach us better. Or maybe he will give you, perhaps, well, an advice that you may not want from him after this quiz if he's watching you or going to watch you later. Here's the next one. 3 questions still to go. Dilip's got a 50. He's got on to 200. Here's the next one on your screen now. It's a huge initiative in this world created by a phenomenal man called Nicholas Negroponte. It's one of those ideas which could revolutionize and change the world. Dilip has gone for it. What are we talking about? From Raipur, Dilip Chowdhury.
Computers for all.
Sorry?
Computers for everybody, for all.
You need to tell me the initiative. There's a specific logo on your screen. It has a name, and you got to give me that. There's laptops for everybody. There are many with such vision. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has that as one of their agendas. Many do. I specifically said Nicholas Negroponte. And I'm giving you a fair chance. Minus 50, Dilip. Missing the answer on that one. Bijimal, ma'am, you think you have the answer? No points to you, but you want to try? You have to unmute yourself.
I think it is one laptop for all or something like that.
Ah, you were close. 1 laptop per child. Those are the 4 words in the logo. 1 laptop per child.
Okay.
Every child in the world should have a laptop. You know, some of these ideas look visionary. If it had been implemented when Nicholas Negroponte sort of presented it to the world, the pandemic would have been far easier for our children if all of them had had a laptop. In retrospect, the greatness of this idea is something we salute. 2 questions to go. This quiz is going to be tantalizingly close. Daitya on 350, Deepta on 250. That's where the battle lines look. Bijimal not out of the game, Dilip not out of the game, but they've got an outside chance. The penultimate question on your screen now. It's a great place for learning. A place that has produced, oh, Deepta's going for it. If she plays 100, she's going to put a lot of pressure on Daitya on the final question. Go ahead, Deepta, on your mic. Yes? 100 or 50?
I'll play for 100.
She's playing for 100. Yeah? Your answer? Stanford will get you 100. Oh, what a moment in this quiz. 1 question remaining. Oh boy, what a finale. Well, well, well. We're going down the wire to the final question. We've got 2 great educators from 2 different parts of India. Daitya Datta from the Assam Valley School on 350. Deepta Vivekanand from Sant Kabir, Chandigarh, has been the challenger, but finally she has leveled scores with Daitya with 1 question remaining. What a semi-final. Only one of the 2 of them will go through, and well, what a dramatic semi-final we are witnessing. The final question on your screen, here it comes. This man from Japan in many ways changed the way children would learn math. Across the world, children flock to learn math his way. Deepta has taken it on the buzzer. If she gets it right, she's going to go into the world final. Yes, Deepta.
I'm playing for 50.
She's playing for a 50. It's not going to matter, but she's playing at a 50. Yes?
He founded the Qnow Academy.
The Qnow Academy. Deepta Vivekanand will make it to the world final. Oh, what an answer. Congratulations to you. Remarkable performance. She really was trailing right through the quiz, but what a finish towards the end. And I tell you what, these teachers are no different from our young students in our schools. Full of passion, full of knowledge, and look at the competitive spirit. Just not giving up. Deepta Vivekanand from Chandigarh. upstaging Daitya in the final round with 100 to level scores, and then playing out that final 50 on the final question of this quiz to make it to the grand finale of this quiz. From Chandigarh, she will be in the top 4 of the world final. And well, what a remarkable final for you to be in. And it is perhaps my duty to tell you what you have done here today. Outstanding. Well, Bijimol ma'am comes from a city which is so good at quizzing. Dilip is a Tata Crucible finalist on multiple occasions. He's an outstanding quizzer from Raipur. And Deepta ma'am, you will be absolutely proud to know that Daitya Datta is perhaps arguably one of India's best quizzers. The first ever Mastermind India champion is on your screen. She is such a wonderful ambassador of education, a teacher, then from Dehradun, now in Assam. Truly an honor to have someone like her. She doesn't struggle with her quizzing. She's certainly struggling with technology, but that's all right, Daitya ma'am. All of us are struggling with technology, so don't worry. She would have perhaps been far more comfortable and at ease in a stage quiz. But truly wonderful to see the spirit of participation coming through from you, Daitya ma'am. Wonderful to have you here. One answer this way, that way, the story would have been different. But we've got a young educator from Chandigarh getting into the world final. Deepta, simply for not giving up. Her tenacity and grit gets her into the world final. What I really like about her is the way she took her chances and backed herself when she knew it. Extremely well played, Deepta. Congratulations to you. And to all of you watching this semi-final, we've got our third big finalist there to join the two gentlemen. Vijay Krishna from Bengaluru. We've got Dhanush Reddy from Kodad, which is in, I'm not sure if it's Andhra Pradesh or Telangana. I don't want to get that wrong, but he's from Kodad. And of course, qualifying from Chandigarh as our third world finalist is Deepta Vivekanand from Sant Kabir. Extremely well played to all of you. Truly appreciate you all are being part of this wonderful experiment, if I should call it that. It wasn't an easy one for us to start. Honestly, the first question we asked ourselves was, how many teachers would even be willing to take part? That's the first question we asked in the meeting. We were overwhelmed when we saw close to 12,000 taking part, which only means we perhaps don't give enough opportunities to our teachers like our children. And I think the standards that you all are setting, I should make one commitment, and perhaps in the presence of someone like Daitya ma'am, I promise to come back with tougher questions next year. Well, we certainly underestimated some of the teachers this year, but truly brilliant. Thank you all so much for being with us. But till then, from me, Pig Brain, from my colleague Rashmi Furtado, and from all of us here at Grey Cap's Knowledge Tribe, the Teacher Tribe and TCS Ion, you've been watching a fantastic series where teachers are teaching us a few lessons through this quiz. Till we meet again, thank you so much for joining us. Good day. Take care.